IVM.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Musafir Stories, India's very own travel podcast, where each week we discuss the story of travelers in their own words and relive their experiences with you, our listeners.
Hi guys, I'm Faiza with my co-host Saif, and today we have with us Bidisha Banik from the blog Rest February 18. Bidisha likes to call her blog as the diary of a homebound traveler. She extensively blogs about travel and her experiences from her amazing travels. She believes that the world is a map and she is here to leave as many footprints as she can. Bidisha has been featured on Tripoto, Stazilla, Bong Yatra and so many more publications. Her blog Rest February 18 has also been featured on Holidify as one of the top blogs in India. She's also one of the top solo woman travelers that our country has. Bidisha, welcome to our show.
Thank you so much. And I feel highly privileged that you have reached out to me, and I'm getting this opportunity to speak to you guys. I'm more than just happy.
Oh, believe us, the pleasure is all ours, Bidisha. Thank you.
Welcome, Bidisha. The introduction that I have given about Bidisha is really concise. Bidisha, why don't you go ahead and tell our listeners a little about yourself, about how you started traveling and how was Rest February born?
First of all, I would like to begin with where I was born. I was born in Gangtok in Sikkim, which is a very, very picturesque state. It's very beautiful. Wow. It's surrounded by Himalayas and it was a heaven. So I lived amidst all that kind of an environment, and I always used to wonder as a child that how it would feel like to be living somewhere else apart from the mountains, because every day I opened my windows, the curtains and all, I would see blue and green mountains. That's it. That's and I would, start. It's beautiful actually, and my window was like, it should have been a tourist spot, because whenever I opened the curtains, I could see the whole Kanchenjunga range gleaming, in golden and orange colors if it was a good morning, because in Gangtok you have only two seasons. Either it is always raining or it is very, very cold. So, seeing sunshine was very, you have to be very lucky about it. So I would always wonder whether, living at a beach or somewhere in the plains would be much more fun. So I did all my schooling from there. And the happiest part was of the schooling time was that during November, we had our terms ended. So we had this long winter vacation, December, January and till mid-February. So my dad would take us on this long vacations. He would take us to South India sometimes Orissa, sometimes parts of West Bengal, or in the northeast like Assam, Shillong and all these sides. And sometimes even towards Uttar Pradesh or Rajasthan. So we had this wonderful time every year or alternate years. We did go and travel because, Bengalis travel a lot,
That's a lot of destinations.
Yes, I had almost covered, you could say, 40% of India by then. Then what happened was, after I completed my 12th and I left Gangtok, I stayed at Kolkata, which became my second home, and I dearly love Kolkata very, very much. Mm-hmm. Thereafter, I moved to Dehradun for my MBA. I did my MBA from University of Petroleum and Energy Studies. Wow. So I was living in it's something unimaginable. And University of Petroleum and Energy Studies is one of the most beautiful campuses in India. Wow. So, I was like surrounded by mountains everywhere, and it was beautiful. It was breathtakingly beautiful. From Dehradun, then I moved on to Gurgaon for my first job. Okay. And I worked there for around 3 years with first a German MNC. Okay. which was into 3PL logistics of moving goods from one continent or country to another, and through air, through ships. And so I was working there, and thereafter I moved to another startup called Grofers. I think you must have heard of it.
Right.
And
Yes, absolutely.
yes. I was working with Grofers as a content manager. And that's when, I started feeling very trapped in Gurgaon. It was very depressing. I could not do that same rat race kind of a thing. Everybody was the life was very monotonous, very depressing, and I didn't want to be there. So I don't know, sometimes God, conspires. They say that universe conspires whatever you want. And I had a very weird way of this thing happening to me, because then last year, in November, I came to know that I had a tumor in my thyroid gland, and I had to undergo an operation. So finding about that was very traumatizing for me. And then undergoing the operation, everything, I called my parents. I did everything on my own, booked my surgery date and everything, and called my parents. And I told them that, see, this thing has happened and you guys have to come. And I'm the only daughter, only child in the whole family.
Oh my God.
So it was difficult. Yeah. So I underwent my surgery in November. Then I took a break for 1 month. I came back home to Gangtok.
Okay.
And after that, again, when I went back in January, I did not feel good. It was because after such a huge surgery, you want to be at home.
Right.
You want to be cared for. You want to have your parents nearby. So that was not happening. And then after a lot of thought and all, I said that, leave all this shit. I should go back to Gangtok. I packed everything. I sold my belongings and everything, and I came back home. And so that
you're
is
doing good now, even your health?
Yes, I'm doing
That's
pretty much
fantastic. Thank
good,
God.
because when you're doing what you want to do, life, sorts out.
That's true.
And you've been a very brave girl, I must say.
Thank you. So that's when, when I was stuck in all this office going every day, 9 to 5 job, and sometimes more, I would come back home and I would start painting and I would start writing, because those were my passion. So I made my blog. I started writing about all the places I had already been to.
Okay.
And that's when I, made Res Faber. And after coming...
What year was this, Bidisha, if I'm
This was in 2015. April. Around April, I started writing last year.
That's even more impressive, the recognition that Res Faber has got, given that it's started just over a year ago. So that's even more impressive.
Thank you so much. That's very overwhelming, actually. And I'm a very, very emotional person.
So, Bidisha, how was Res Faber 18 born? And what does it mean?
Res Faber is actually a Swedish word, which means the kind of excitedness you feel, the kind of anxiety you feel before you embark upon a new journey.
Wow.
So you're nervous, you're excited, and you're happy, but you're restless. So that is all combined together. That is a Res Faber. That's a Swedish word. And
That's wonderful. That's a wonderful feeling, yeah.
That's a wonderful feeling, actually. It's a goosebumpy feeling.
I know.
Yeah, and 18 is a very important number in my entire family, because it's a lucky number.
Wow.
And incidentally or coincidentally, I don't know how, but everything happens on 18. Like my parents got married on 18 February. I was born on 18 July.
Oh.
And so everything keeps coming on 18. Like we bought our first property on 18th of April. My parents getting promotions on 18th, getting new jobs on 18th, a fridge coming into a home on 18th. Everything happens coincidentally on 18th. So 18 is very important.
Awesome. So there is a story behind 18. It wasn't just another number then.
No, it's not just another number.
Awesome. So Bidisha, sticking with the tradition of the Musafir Stories, where each week our guest travelers take our listeners on a journey, where are you taking our listeners today?
Today it would be Pushkar Camel Fair, because I had won a trip from Tripoto, which was on Tripoto, and it was sponsored by Sky Waltz. So I won this trip, which entitled me to a 2-night and 3-day stay in one of our luxury camps hosted by Sky Waltz, and I could see the whole Pushkar Camel Fair, as well as get a free hot air balloon ride.
Awesome.
Pushkar was maddening out there, because the whole fair and things, there were cattle, there were camels, every kind. I had never seen a black black colored camel, and I could see those camels over there. Black camels, brown camels, big camels, tall camels, baby camels, every kind of camels. And cattle, of course, buffaloes and cows, horses, donkeys, everything was there.
So this Pushkar Mela, what is it about?
Yeah, just for first time listeners, give them the significance of the Mela.
The Pushkar Mela is a livestock trading fair where people sell their cattle, camels, as well as horses and cows, buffaloes, any kind of animal that helps a man, a domestic animal, not dogs, of course. So the Pushkar fair is all about that, which it actually started with livestock trading, but eventually it caught up as a tourist attraction, and then people started doing other stuffs to attract more and more tourists. Like there are all these contests that keep happening, like kite flying contest, matka ford contest, or those races, sack races and stuffs like that, or the best turban contest, or contest where the Rajasthani men flaunt the strength of their mustaches and their beards and stuffs like that. Then there is this very interesting contest, the bride and the groom contest, where a couple dresses up as a bride and groom, and the one which looks the best wins the contest.
That's interesting.
Then there is this, there's also this Lagan themed cricket match which was going on, and the people, they dress up like Indians, and then there are these Goras, the Firangs, which they are into the other team. Now this is a very racist cricket match, but still whatever. So it's fun looking at all those men running around in dhotis and things like that, and playing cricket, and all these Firangs, properly dressed and all.
As long as it's cricket, I'm sure people want to watch it.
Yeah, definitely. There's a huge crowd, even despite the fact that it is so hot even during November in Pushkar, and so dusty that still people are there. They're sitting there and with their umbrellas or caps and stuffs, and they are watching it. It's a freak show, actually. And then you get all these, freaky looking animals out there. People are collecting arms with them, They have these 5-legged cows, buffaloes.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're dressed very prettily, they dress them up properly, and they with a bowl or something, they're begging with them. All that happened.
One question, Bidisha. So this Pushkar Mela happens in the Pushkar city, obviously. So when you get to the city, is it like a huge ground or something where it's happening, or is it just spread around the city? How is it?
No. When you enter the city, Pushkar does not look like any other regular city. It has very narrow alleys and all. So to go to the main city, you have to go through those narrow alleys. But there's this mela ground, huge mela ground, where the entire fair takes place in and around that place.
All right.
So when you are crossing the city, when you're entering the city, you can see all the stalls that have already been set up, which you won't find other time of the year.
Okay.
So there are these handicraft places. Then there are the other regular things that you get in a mela, in a fair. And then there are these giant whales and all kind of freaky rides that you have in the melas. Mm-hmm. So every aspect of a mela or a fair is covered in the Pushkar Camel Fair, apart from just camels. Mm-hmm. Because other people may think that it's just the camels and the livestock trading, but it is not. It is so much more. It's everything in there.
So it's better that even our listeners and people who are planning on going there book tickets in the hotels much before, because I bet finding hotel and accommodation would be difficult as well.
Yes. It's a peak season for the foreign tourists. You will find, I saw this queue of tourists, walking behind each other with a flag of their country.
Oh, wow.
If they're from Canada, they are holding up the Canadian flag.
Right.
So you see that kind of crowd over there. And it's not just the foreigners. It is crazy because all these Rajasthani people are also there. There are locals, there are Indie tourists who want to see. Mm-hmm. And then there is this whole breed of travel bloggers and travel writers who are all crowded out there.
Yeah, so
So
please tell us
it's
more about
great.
Pushkar. Yeah, I know.
Awesome.
It would look so colorful and beautiful, I bet.
Yes, it is. Entire Rajasthan is. I mean, it's so beautiful. But it is very, very chaotic during this thing. I have been to Pushkar earlier also. It was pretty much calm and peaceful back then. But this was maddening. But I like all that. I can't complain much. Yeah, so I had won this trip from Tripoto, and it was sponsored by Sky Waltz. Sky Waltz is the first government approved and licensed hot air balloon operation in India. Yep. So they were the main sponsors. It was a luxury luxury camping or glamping. That's the word they use, glamorous camping for this kind of an accommodation. So the camp was set a little farther away from the whole crowd of the mela. So it was an orchard, and there were this mango trees and Indian gooseberry, amla trees everywhere. So my tent, when I reached the tent, the camp area, it was like heaven for me, because it was all in white. The tents were white and they were very clean and very beautiful. And I had never camped earlier, so I was not very sure what to expect inside, even though they told me that it was a luxury camping, but I was very apprehensive about it. Anyways, I entered my camp, and there was this very cozy bed. There was an AC, and there were 2 chairs, and the whole ambience was so pretty and so cozy. I was like, wow, that's nice, but where is the toilet? So that was my biggest concern. Where is the toilet? Because I had heard my friends, who went for camping in Rishikesh and all, they were like, we had to, defecate in all those makeshift toilets. I was very scared about that. So I asked the person, where is the toilet? And he's like, open that chain, ma'am. And I opened that chain and I saw the toilet was, wow. It was like amazing. I was like, oh my God, is that a toilet or what? I could live in there.
So was that a part
They
of
had
your tent, or how was it?
Yeah, it was an attached toilet inside the camp, inside the tent. Yeah, they had a commode. They had a beautiful iron bowl-looking wash basin and a nice big broad mirror. That is what I look for every time while judging accommodations. I need a mirror first of all. So and they had shower. They had a hand shower. And they had all this, all the amenities over there. They provided all these chota, small toiletries and everything. So it was like living in a hotel.
I know, that's luxury at its best. I know.
Yeah, luxury at its best. I couldn't complain. How can anybody complain? Hot and cold water running throughout the day, night. So not a big problem.
Awesome.
How long was
yes.
this? How long was this the trip for? The
2 nights and 3 days.
Okay.
2 nights and 3 days. So the first day, of course, I was very tired. But any which ways, I went to the mela ground. I took a giant wheel ride because that was that's something I really love doing in melas. And then I went for a little shopping and all. Then there was this concert by Prem Joshua, Indian fusion music he plays. I heard about him, but I was so tired that I could not wait for that long because, they all keep doing the sound check and all these stuff. And so it started getting on my nerves, and I'm not much of a concert goer. So I went back home to my tent and slept peacefully.
Luxury tent.
Yeah, luxury. Yes, luxury tent. My glamping experience.
Awesome.
So... Yes, but I was, I had my dinner at the camp. The food was really, really good. And, then they informed me about the next day's itinerary, which was about the hot air balloon ride, the biggest thing, of course.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. And I never really thought that I would be doing that, because I am much of a budget traveler and cutting down cost everywhere. And this trip was like unimaginably luxurious for me. So I was like, wow, I was treated so well. Then everything. And so I went off, I retired for the day. And the next morning I woke up at 4:30 a.m. I'm not a morning person, to tell you the truth. And I got ready. And it was very, very cold early in the morning because it's all that sand thing, in the deserts. The nights were very, very cold, but it was comfortable. And then I got up in the morning. I went for this. I had a pickup vehicle who took me to the ground from where we would be taking the flight, where we met our first instructor. He gave us a little introduction about what all we would experience and where all we would be going in that hot air balloon and stuff. So I was so sleepy, I did not hear most of it.
And then, Bidisha, was this the whole hot air balloon rides and all of that only for contest winners, or who are the other participants, or who are the other people accompanying you?
Yeah, so can
Yes, other people can. Other people can.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. All right, please go ahead.
Everybody can. And the most of the crowd that I had that along with me on that day were all foreigners, mostly foreigners. And there were 3 balloons. And and they started inflating it with all that gas and all. So they all that those colorful cloth which was lying on the ground suddenly became a hot air balloon. That was like magic.
Wow.
They sent a large chunk of people into one big balloon, then others in another, and I was accompanied with another group of Indian tourists. I think, as per my guesses, were the owners of the Sky Waltz.
Ooh.
I did not get an opportunity to confirm that, but according to their conversations or eavesdropping and all, so I came to know that maybe they are the person is the pioneer of the business.
Wow.
And later, a little Google search and all, I think his name was Samit Garg.
Okay.
So he's the man behind it. Great. So I went into the basket with them and absolutely oblivious of what I'm going to see because I had no idea. And then a little briefing with our pilot, Mr. Francesco Castillo. He's a Spanish hot air balloon pilot who has immense experience in flying hot air balloons in many places, including Cappadocia Mountains in Turkey. So,
impressive.
Yeah, so it was a wonderful experience. And then he briefed us about all the safety measures and the landing procedure and the possible turbulence that we would be facing up while landing or while taking off and all this. And then we took off. And the sun was also, it was almost the time when the sun rose. So I had no expectations at all. But when we started taking flight and things started going, you could see everything below. That was magical. That was absolutely magical. You see the entire Pushkar lake. You see the entire Pushkar city. You see all the grounds where the cattle are kept. All those tiny little miniature horses and camels. They become so small. Wow. So they look amazing from up above. Sometimes we were hovering very low, and so that we could even see into people's houses. And there were children, women who were so excited to see us floating up on the sky in those colorful balloons. They would wave at us and I would wave them back. So it was a fun thing. And suddenly, out of the blue, from the back of the mountains, the sun came up. And it is very, very beautiful because it is at the same level of the sun. You are at the same level of the sun and you can see the sun rising right before you. I have seen a lot of sunrises and sunsets. I've seen sunrises from Tiger Hill in Darjeeling, from Sikkim in the mountains of Sikkim. I've seen sunrises in the Bay of Bengal, at the backdrop of Bay of Bengal, or in Kanyakumari. And I was like, oh my God, I have never seen something like that. You are at the level of the sun and the sun is coming up right in front of you. It's breathtaking. It's unimaginably spectacular.
Wow.
Yes. I really did not want it to end. I did not want it to end, but all good things come to an end.
And how long did this last?
How long was the
ride?
Around 30 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was traveling with the bosses, so they could take it anywhere as long as they want.
Excellent. And thank you for being so descriptive. It felt like it was much longer than 30 minutes. I'm just saying that because all the things that you've experienced, it feels like much longer than that, and it's a sad thing that it was only 30 minutes.
Yeah, well, you can check. The other people can also go for the rides. If you Google Sky Waltz, you will get their homepage where you get all the tariffs of the different types of rides that you can go.
Right. So what next, Bidisha? What did you do after that?
After that, I spent the whole day in Pushkar. Pushkar has all these beautiful markets where you get all kind of hippie stuffs, you know. Yeah, and if you've watched the Star Wars, you know Princess Leia in the gold bikini thing.
Yeah.
So you get that, not the gold bikini, but you could definitely get a silver bikini in Pushkar market.
Oh my God.
You know, so exotic. Yeah. So Pushkar has all these weird, exotic and nice things, pieces of, even the clothing and all. The food is also very good. You get all Middle Eastern food, a lot of it in Pushkar. There are many good cafes where you can sit and chill and just look at the Pushkar Lake. And it's very beautiful.
That sounds very beautiful, yeah.
The only thing that was a thorn in the whole trip was my food poisoning episode in Pushkar. That day I ate all the time in the camp. I was perfectly fine. That day I went and tried a coconut milk smoothie. Okay. And that is something I think that made me very, very sick. And the whole night I spent puking terribly. Yeah. That was the only fiasco. But everything else was perfect.
So did you do any more things on day 3 or was it pretty much?
Yeah, day 3 I headed off to Jaipur.
Okay, was this a part of the trip or did you just decide to go on your own?
No, I went on my own. Okay. That I went Jaipur only to do some shopping. Guilty. Yeah, the thing is, whenever I'm in Rajasthan, I just don't want to miss a single hour or a single day or a single minute. I want to just go around. I don't spend much time in the hotels or the hostels wherever I stay. I just go outside.
That's great.
Awesome. And how much time did you spend in Jaipur?
I just spent the night in Jaipur and the next day I had to return to Gurgaon because I had my flight back to Bagdogra.
Cool. So Bidisha, that was an awesome trip you had to Pushkar. Sure, you had a number of memorable moments. But if you had to just shut your eyes and think about one moment, what stands out?
The hot air balloon ride and the sunrise that I saw from the hot air balloon. That is not comparable to any other experience that I have had so far in Rajasthan.
Awesome. And I'm sure a lot of people want to try that. So thank you for sharing all the information about Sky Waltz and how people can go and look at more information about it. It's been an awesome journey so far, Bidisha, and thanks a lot for that.
Thank you.
And Bidisha, if our listeners want to contact you, please tell us how should they?
You can reach me out through Gmail, through my email ID would be bidishabanik18@gmail.com. You can look out for my blog. It's called Resfaber18. I write on WordPress and I am also on Tripoto. You can search me on Tripoto. You can follow me there. You can follow my Instagram account, which is called Resfaber_18. You can connect with me on Twitter, on Facebook. My Facebook page is called Resfaber18. So anywhere you Google it, you'll get it. Resfaber plus 18.
Perfect. I bet there would be so many people who would love to go ahead and read your blog. Thank you so much, Bidisha.
Thank you so much.
That was yet another great episode of the Musafir Stories. If you guys like the show, please subscribe to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Pocket Radio, or any other podcasting app that's available on iOS or Android. You could also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We go by the handle The Musafir Stories. Or, if it suits you, you could email us at themusafirstories@gmail.com and visit our website www.themusafirstories.com for more information. All of these links will be made available in the show notes section of the podcast. So here's to more traveling, sharing, and inspiring. Stay tuned for our next episode. Until then, Happy travels and goodbye.